Welcome back to Atwood's Garage. It's weekend again. Today's project is making a halo for my Turbo 400 that I picked up this week for my Jeep. Obviously, this is a two-wheel drive version, so I'm going to need to adapt it to four-wheel drive. Buying advanced adapters or Novak or whatever, the piece that will replace this tail shaft adapter, it's like $500. Well, if you guys have known anything from my channel, I'm not spending $500 for a chunk of aluminum. Anyway, so what I've come to the conclusion I'm going to do is the output housing from a 4L80E has the same 6-bolt pattern and is identical to center. The register, however, is a little different. The 400 here, the mounting ring inside that centers it is 4 7/8, while a 4L80E is 4 3/4. The adapter, though, is not this long. It's only about 2.5 inches. We're about 4 inches from surface to surface here. Plus, the additional length of the shaft is about 4.5. All right, where were we? My wife stopped in here for a second. Want to make sure I had the gate shut so the doggies wouldn't get out. Anyway, okay. The housing adapter for a 4L80 to a 241 transfer case. So it'll have the correct 6 bolts here, and it'll have the 6-bolt pattern for the transfer case. It's only about 2.5 inches. There's not enough splining on this output for me to just lop off the shaft. I know some people have, but it only leaves you about 1 inch or 1.25 of spline, which may or may not be plenty. I'm not going to risk it. My plan is to make a spacer to go between the transmission case and the adapter housing to make up the additional difference. And that should get me in the ballpark. That also will give me a chance to correct the registers. So I'll be able to put a recess on this side of it for the 4L80, and I'll be able to have a lip on this side to fit the 400. That'll keep everything centered. That's a future project. Once I get all my pieces and get my final measurements, we'll go from there and get drawn up. Plans for this today, however, is I'd like to break this transmission down a little bit, check the overall quality of the clutches, etc., see what condition it's in, where I need to rebuild it or not. The gentleman I got it from really wasn't familiar with the history. It was bolted to a 283 at one time. Not sure what it came out of. Somebody's hot rod. But anyway, I got a good price on it. Did get the torque converter with it, which I'm not planning on using. I'm going to put a stall in it. And I'd like to go to a reverse manual throttle body with engine braking from TCI, but they're currently out of stock. I think for the short term is I'm going to modify the valve body to be a forward reverse manual valve body. And then I can put the other one in as I can. Other things that will be done at the same time is I will pop this breather out, drill and tap it at 1/8 inch for a hose fitting. Since this is a 4-wheel drive, I really don't want this thing dumping fluid, not one onto my exhaust, two, sucking water in potentially. The modulator sticks out awfully far on this particular case. I know there's smaller ones. I'm debating, I know I just said manual valve body. I can make changes to the valve body that allow me to hold shifts and keep the automatic features. Or I can just go and take the heck with it, pull out the governor, pull out the modulator, and just do it manual. I'm not sure which exact route I'm going to take. But today, I need to make a halo, which will mount in here, come around to hold it to either an engine stand, or I may just make a bench mount. My vise is pretty much shot here, so I'm thinking about bolting this plate down, welding a trailer hitch receiver to it, and then have multiple plates that I can put in here. So I can either put the vise in or put in the adapter for transmission, whatever else I want to put into a 2-inch receiver hitch. So today's project, take this material over here, build a halo for it. So stick around. Welcome back to Atwood's Garage. I was hoping to have all sorts of fun video for you. Me fabricating my transmission halo. However, as I set my phone aside to record, didn't pay any attention to the storage space. So about 10 minutes into it, my phone turned off, said that was enough. So anyway, I apologize for that. But this is what I ended up building yesterday. This is for my Turbo 400, be able to mount it to the bench so I can tear it down. Got mounting point here, adjustable here, pivots. Got a stop bolted on, this slides in and out. Got a hard stop so I can put this in any direction I wish. This is a piece of 2-inch square stock, which I was planning on taking, excuse my mess. My son came over last night, started building a rack for his log splitter. Well, I'm going to take this mounting plate here, or this plate here, put 4 holes in it, build a box. That's what I'm going to do today to mimic a receiver hitch. Use a hitch pin in back here. I'm going to unbolt my vise, bolt that plate down on my table, and I'm going to make mounts for my vise, for this, maybe a bench grinder, and just be able to change things in and out. As you can see, step back here. That's pretty much all I have here in my 1-car garage, which is currently also occupied by my 68 F100, which is currently waiting for me to get back to doing it. Meanwhile, it's collecting everything. I do have a nice loft above to store all my extra stuff, but it is what it is. Gotta make do with what you have, and this is what I have. So today, like I said, we'll make the box for that plate, get that drilled, get that mounted. So let's get at it. And yes, my vise is broken. On my list of things to replace. Okay, I'm back. Got my plate drilled. Got some scrap here. Need to make a box. Go over this, which would be my mimic a receiver. Now I could go buy some stock and everything else, but that wouldn't be me. So let's get this marked up. Alright. What'd my boy do with my markers? Okie get this cut out. Guys, back. Once again, I'm having camera issues with my phone. Apparently, I was running out of storage space, basically. So I had to dump a bunch of photos and other things off my phone so I can actually take some short videos. Anyway, was filming, building my mount here. Sorry, the dogs are outside. I'm just doing this real quick. I like to do a quick outro. Made this mount for the bench. Holds my halo for transmission. I'm going to lock it in, slide out. I'm also going to make one adapter where I can mount my vise, change things out. It'll be nice. And if you can see in the background, there's numerous Turbo 400 pieces, most of which is at my shop where I work. We don't have we do electronics and calibrations where I work at, but we do have a full machine shop, and we repair tools and things of that nature. So I took it over there to get stuff cleaned up. Some of those parts will be reused, some not. Output shaft won't be reused. The clutches I took out of it looked good, but I went and bought a new kit anyway. Piston in the back there will go back in. And a few hints here. We won't be using this anymore. And we won't be using these anymore. So, we won't be using that anymore either. Anyway, this is Robert. Stay tuned as we break down further my Turbo 400. Do some changes to it. One will be a forward manual valve body. What else are we going to do? New clutches. I'm running a 4L80 four-wheel drive output shaft with which I don't have it here, sorry, the housing that I showed earlier. Also going to use a 4L80 direct drum with a 34 element sprag. And my bell housing's cracked. So stay tuned. See how we fix that.